What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Ghetto Gilly, and this is some Overwatch rant. Now, I saw a positive comment on the last video saying, "Hey, I like the style of this video, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Maybe this probably gonna be a series on the channel. I'm not gonna be the entire channel, as it is. I'm still trying to figure out where I belong. But today, guys, we're gonna talk about something that, as an Overwatch player, just like a For Honor player, is near and dear to my heart. It's OP characters." Now, as you can see, this is on the PTR, and I'm playing Orisa. I tried to get in a quick play match as Orisa, but that was like 4 or 5 games in. I couldn't get shit. I tried. Someone already auto-logged out ass. They would say no. So I eventually just went to, no limits here. So there are 3 Orisas, but yeah. So we're going to talk about OP characters. We'll start off with Bastion. I, personally, Season 2, was a Bastion main. He's one of my most played players in a quick play. I love Bastion. I think he's kind of ridiculous fun to play. I don't know if I like him just because he tilts other people, or if I just like the way he plays. The fact that you're in Sentry form half the time, and then half the time you're running around with your recon mode, especially now. But recently, he obviously got the buff. Some people refer to it as the second Omnic Crisis. I believe that was Stylosa. And people were mad. People were very mad, whether it be a streamer or just a normal player. Now, putting this in perspective, I am no Grandmaster, top 500. No, honestly, I'm in Plat. I've been in Plat I didn't really play Season 1. I just played Quick Play back then. Got in Season 2, Season 3, and now, of course, in Season 4. And I'm a Plat player. I've gotten close to getting out of Diamond. I'm getting out of Plat, almost to Diamond. Never fully got there. I believe that I'm a good player. I could probably play in Diamond, but that's another rant for another day about the whole team composition. This is a team game. So as we see here, I kind of know how to use Orisa at this point. I understand what her abilities do, and I think I do die here. But, I mean, I do die. But I get the premise, alright? She has the Graviton bubble thing. She uses her shield. I am a Reinhardt main. In comp, I play Reinhardt more than anyone. This season I'm trying to play more DPS, which is why I'm very excited when I heard about Orisa coming out. Because, of course, like everyone else, I want Doomfist. Doomfist was so cool, but then we got her. I'm like, alright, well, this is interesting. I've wanted to get to play DPS. Like, I've always played tank, and frankly, it's not really fun. I like doing bandage. I like doing damage. So when Orisa came out, I was like, oh, cool. But then we have day 1. And of course, day 1, when we have a new hero, people are going to complain. And just like Bastion's buff, how everyone complained, no matter what level they were, no matter how good they were, people they didn't seem to be very happy. I'm like, alright, she is overpowered. Or like Bastion, he's too overpowered. He doesn't take damage, doesn't take blah, 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 blah. Which, I understand. I mean, even I played him during the couple of days that the patch was still a 35% damage reduction while he was in Sentry mode. It was kind of crazy, I will admit. It might have been a little bit too much. Do I believe the damage reduction, do I believe the nerf he got is too much? Yes. I don't believe they should have dropped it to 20%, maybe, or kept it in the PTR longer. Like, maybe making the patch go live when Orisa, when Orisa went live. Because people are going to adapt. And of course people are like, oh, but there's no real possible way we could have adapted to the, this whole Bastion, meta. Well, there's always a way you can adapt. And people always want to complain, but in the reality, if you just get better, it doesn't matter. Like, there are so many games that I'll walk in, and we'll be playing, and then we'll end up losing, right? We'll end up losing horribly, and it's just how it is. And they want to blame it on a certain member of the team, and I'm like, guys, they're just better than us. They're like, no, it's the soldiers' fault for not handling the fire, or the Diva kept going out on her own, or Zarya never used her Graviton. I didn't see Mercy ever staying on one of us healing. And I think this is, once again, another topic for another day. The Overwatch community can be very toxic if we want to be. But at the end of the day, if you know how to play this game, you can play it well. So going back to what I was saying with Bastion, is the way he's built, or way he was built for those couple of days, is he's meant to be played in recon mode. So he's meant to be played kind of like Soldier, in the fact that you need to be constantly moving and just aiming for the head. Whereas when he got into Sentry mode, yes, if he had a Mercy on him and he was healing himself, he would be almost impossible to kill. But just like what I believe, and I'm going to quote Stylosa here, when he talked about Pharah, and is Soldier technically Pharah's counter? Yes and no. Yes, if there was to be a single person that could counter Pharah, it would probably be Soldier. He can move constantly, he's a hit scan, so it works. Unlike Widow, when she only has a shot every probably 3 seconds, I think it is, to charge it all the way. But at the same time, it's the team's job. It's the team's job to handle the Pharah. It's not just Soldier. If you just leave it to a single person to handle the person they're the counter to, it's not gonna do. You're not gonna do good as a team. You're relying too much on one outcome to be successful. It's like you never put all your eggs in one basket. I'm not gonna spend my life savings going into Vegas and putting it all on like 18 black on the roulette table and hoping it gets 18 black. Because if it doesn't, then I'm fucked. My family's fucked. I mean, there's nothing we can do. We are then out of money. Which is, I think, something that Overwatch players need to think of. Talking more, I guess, about Orisa than Bastion at this point is, if you want to learn how to counter her, you can counter her. Like, we're looking about the most recent patch notes here. When we saw that Jeff was talking about the developer, like, okay, yeah, I played Bastion a little bit in the PT in normal, and yes, we did realize how overpowered he was, and that's totally fair and fine and good. But what needs to be remembered about all this is they knew what they were doing. Because there's no way the developers don't play the character against each other, kind of. And I want to go ahead and say this right now. I'm sorry for the shitty quality. That will be fixed. But talking about the way he plays, no right-minded developer of a game, especially hired by Blizzard, one of the most successful PC gaming companies, probably in the world, would say that Bastion buff was ill-planned and we shouldn't have done it. Like, okay, I get people make mistakes. But if that was a mistake, that would be the biggest mistake Blizzard may have ever made. And I don't for a second believe that's what really happened. I don't. I believe they played him in their developers HUD area and thought, yeah, this is good. You know, I think right now it's meant to be Bastion meta, and I think people are going to be very upset that they're complaining once Doomfist comes along. Because we're looking at his abilities, and just how the recent patches have been to update characters is honestly, I feel like they're all just building up to Doomfist. Because we're talking about OP characters, well, alright. What was Bastion meant to do? Sentry form, take less damage, alright? And they knew Orisa was coming out. They knew the Zarya nerf was coming. Or I guess, I would probably call that a nerf. With her barrier not protecting her from projectiles, but not like physical attacks, like maybe a Reinhardt, like when she's in her barrier. I think Orisa was created to defend Bastion, because I feel like even with the 35% damage reduction that he did have, as of probably a week and a half ago now, 2 weeks, he would have been able to counter Doomfist correctly with the help of Orisa and her shield. I don't believe that could happen now, which I kind of worry is going to lead people to hating Doomfist. In the fact that when he comes out in PTR alone, he is probably going to be the most overpowered character. And honestly, I'm a little worried about that. I'm worried that the community is going to be mad that this hero we have hyped up for such a long time, because people wanted to complain that Bastion was overpowered. And I've seen people complain that Orisa is overpowered. You can't complain about a hero expecting it to always just be better. Like, alright, I'm a complain about this, and this is gonna get fixed. No, you can't whine and bitch and moan about something. I played plenty of games during the meta, and yes, I guess Grandmaster players might have had it a little bit differently. But we're thinking about the majority of the community here. We're not GMs. We're plats and diamonds. We're not god tier players. We're people that play for fun. Do I wish I was at that level? Yeah, but that's not the point here. I play this game because I enjoy it as a game. This is a very competitive game, which I would love to become really great at, but I mean, it's not that. And I played plenty of games where the Bastion was the standalone reason they won during that week, and I played games where the Bastion was the reason they lost. At the end of the day, it's how the player plays, not the character being overpowered. And I feel like when you get to that rank of Grandmaster and Master, that idea kind of leaves your mind. That it could suddenly be, oh, this player is not better than me. Which I think is a real problem in our community, and I don't really know how to address it. I guess maybe just having a more positive outlook when going into the game. But just accept a hero for who they are. Like, even in this clip, I believe at the end of the game I finished with gold damage, gold elims, and gold objective time for my team. Or gold objective kills, I'm sorry. But if this was calm, people would be complaining that, oh, Orissa's so overpowered. Why is she able to get these get three go tier medals? No. It just means I played smart. I played better than you. There's no way to describe it. And of course, PTR is a bad example of how Orisa play would be, especially no limits, because people were just, honestly, 90% of the people are just playing Orisa. I think the enemy team had 2 Widows, and Ana, and like a couple of other things, like maybe a Mei, and I think they had an Orisa themselves at this point too. And a Diva, yeah, they had a Diva. Okay, so something doesn't add up there, but that's not the point. At the end of the day, guys, it's a game. And let's just all have fun and playing it. Let's stop worrying about characters that are OP and all this and that and that and this. Because Blizzard knows what they're doing, guys. Put our faith in them, and they will give. They always have, whether it be World of Warcraft or Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm. If the community wants something, Blizzard is smart enough to listen to us. But at the same time, we can't whine and bitch and moan about things to get what we want, because it's not what we are used to. Bastion buff was meant to change things, and the Orisa I'm hoping will change the meta too, and I'm very happy about it. This is Ghetto Gilly, and I'm signing off. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hit that like and the subscribe button, and see you guys in the next one. Peace out!